and welcome back to the channel where your likes, comments, and subs are always greatly appreciated. In this video, I have a quick tip featuring the Sonicware Liven Evoke instrument. I'm going to demonstrate two different ways that you can adjust the number of steps in your patterns from 1 to 64 steps. To begin, I have a blank pattern that is loaded. By default, all the blank patterns are going to be set with 16 steps within each pattern for each track. So I have track number 1 that is highlighted, and these steps are outlined up here in these circular buttons that are right above the key bed. So if I want to adjust the number of steps that I have on track 1, I can hold down the function button, which is going to be in the row of oval buttons, the second button from the left. And then in the sequencer row, I'm going to hit button number 9, which underneath it, you could see with the function shift, it is labeled as length. So if I hit that, it demonstrates or shows me that I have 16 steps in this pattern on track 1. If I continue to hold down the function button and hit the length button again, it will now cycle up to 32 steps, 48 steps, and one more time to 64 steps. So that's set for track number 1. We could bring that back down to 32 steps if we want. I can now move over to track number 2, and if I do the exact same thing by holding down the function button and hitting the length button, you could see it's at 16 steps. So you need to do this for every single track that you're using. And the advantage here is that you can adjust the tracks separately. So if you want track 2 to just have 16 steps, you can do that. And it could just have maybe a repetitive bass line over and over again. And then you could have a more complicated melody with 32 steps. And that will now set up a pattern that will have just the bass line repeating on 16 steps. You don't have to do the extra work to program something that's not going to be more complicated. And now the melody could expand over 32 steps. But what if we don't want to have 16 steps? What if we want something that's not at 16, 32, 48, or 64? Well, you can do that. So hold down the shift button again, and for length, once you've selected what you want and you're in the menu here that shows the numbers, now just use the value encoder knob up at the top right underneath the MIDI in and out. And you can turn this knob to adjust it to any amount of steps that you want for track number 2. You can go as low as 1 step all the way to 64 steps and cycle to anything in between. You just have to remember to do that for every single one of your tracks so you get the tracks to match up and have the appropriate number of steps for the patterns that you're trying to build. Okay, that's all I wanted to cover in this video. Thanks for watching. See you again next time. Goodbye.